Hello viewers, I welcome you to the second part of writing a resume. My name is Daniel Obeyin. In the previous of the first video, we talked about how to develop your resume. We looked at why you need a resume, the resume format, and how to choose or choosing the right one. Then we looked at the resume tips and the strategies. Now, today we're going to look at including the right information. What are the right information? Like your contact information, objectives, summary or professional profiles, employment history, education, and additional information and references. We are going to show you how to go about all this to make your resume a very wonderful resume, and by the grace of God, you'll be the next person that will be called for an interview. So we'll start with the contact information. It is important to note that your resume starts with your name and other contact information. So in this lesson, we will show you how to go about it, how to write your contact in your resume. Now, what contact information should you include? What are the essentials you need to include as your contact information? Okay, these are your name, your address, phone number, and email address. They should always appear on the top of your resume, regardless of which resume format you have used. Take note of that. Okay, but there are some advantages and disadvantages of indicating your contact information. Let's look at it. Some employers actually use the contact information section to screen out undesirable candidates. They may pass you over if you live in another part of the country in order to avoid paying relocation costs, or they may form a negative opinion about you if your contact information is inappropriate in some way. A lot of hiring managers today will even use this information to search you on a popular social networking sites to see what is posted about you. I want us to just throw more light on this last one, social media networking sites. For the youths, especially those searching for jobs and those that may still want to go higher, by still searching for a higher or a greener pasture. I want you to understand that what you post on your networking or social media networking sites matters a lot. What are the things you post? So some of the contact information you reveal in your resume can expose some of these things you've posted on your social media networking sites. So you have to be very, very careful about what you post online. Okay, when I think I'll still work on the video on I think internet security. I'll also try and emphasize on this issue, how hackers can also make use of some of your information, to 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 hack your social media handles. And this means that you have to have a very strong password, but there are certain information you reveal online on social media networks that can be harmful. They can use and guess your password, but that's by the way. Let's move further. Now, this is the format of how to write your contact information. As you can see on the screen, you see address here. You write your address, your city, state and zip code, all those stuff, and your email address. Then you write your first name and the last name. Okay, I want you to understand something again about this first name and the last name. Always remember that your first name is your normal name and the last name is your surname. Okay, you will not know the importance of these until maybe you have a banking issue. When the bank says your first name is different from your last name, then you will realize they will tell you you should go to court and have a court affidavit. I've experienced it. Yes, when I was in my youth service, I opened an account. I just wrote the name the way I want it. At least all of them are my names, okay? But after, say, 10 years after my youth service, or yes, 10 years after my youth service, my account was frozen, and I had to write. They told me the reason, and I had to go to the court. I saw an affidavit that all those names are my names and the account is my account. I attached my picture, and I had to even let them understand that the arrangement of the name is just the issue, but then this is the way my name should be, and I indicated my last name, my first name, and my middle name. So you have to be careful about this in your resume. Indicate properly which one is which. Okay, so that is how to go about your contact information. Okay, let's look at this other aspect: resume writing. Under it we will look at objectives, summaries, or professional profiles. Okay, these are the things you also include in your resume after you are done with the contact information. The next stage is, your objective, summaries, professional profiles. Okay, then the purpose of a resume, as we know, is to sell your professional expertise to the hiring manager. The summary statement, professional profile, career objective, they are the first advertisement of your skill and expertise that a hiring manager will see. So you have to make sure that this aspect is well articulated and organized. In this video, you're gonna see how to write a very good objective, summary, or professional profiles. Okay, so we want to look at deciding which approach to take. Is it career profile, a career objective, or should you use a summary or profile? So which one do you want? Okay, now in some fields like education, job applicants are still expected to include an objective. In some applications, you may not necessarily use career objective. Okay, although job seekers still include it along with professional summaries. Okay, especially if they are new to a workforce, that is, you can still include both the career objective and your summary or your professional profile. Okay, if you are very new. Okay, so now if you want to use the summary or profile, bear in mind that it is a statement that restates the key points of your resume, usually in a very short paragraph or in few bullets. A professional profile also highlights the key points from your resume, but it usually focuses more on your accomplishments and accolades. That is for professional profile. Then the summary just gives a simple information about what is all contained in your resume. I want you to like my videos channel and also subscribe on this YouTube channel, and I hope you are enjoying this lecture or this tutorial courtesy of the GCF material that I'm using. I really appreciate this material. It's a very nice material. I came across it and I decided to use it, to educate many people concerning many areas of life. Okay, not only on resume. Okay, now let's continue with our discussion. Having understood the difference or which approach to choose, either the career objective or the summary or profile or both, it is important for us to move further to the next stage, which is the format. Let's just see the format, how it looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like. You see your objective. After the contact, you come to the next one, which is the objective. Under it, you can now write your career goals. What are your career goals? You write your career goals there. You see the summary. This is how the summary or the professional profile looks like. You write a summary of your qualifications. You write your career highlights and your area of expertise. Okay, now let's go down and let me show you how to write your objective. Okay, I want you to understand that for your goal in the objective section, take note of the following: the job title and the desired position level. Take note of the field, the industry or area of work, and then take note of your specialization or your skills. Having taken note of all of these, you can now come to this level, this number B, and then formulate your objective. Okay, for instance, this template is trying to tell you that build your own objective by replacing the parentheses with your answers. Okay, you start with A in bracket, position stroke level. What position are you looking for? Are you applying for? You indicate, for instance, let's say administrative assistant or customer service. Okay, you can say a customer service position using my, what are the skills? You list out your skills, the various skills you have, you list them out. Then as a, you now write the position title. Okay, you write the position title. Then you also include your field stroke industry. What field are you is the company or the organization you are applying to, what field or industry is it under? So you indicate it. Okay, in a nutshell, let's look at how an objective is supposed to look like. You just write a full-time, okay, full-time position. Remember here we talked about position or level. So the position, either you write the position as a secretary or you write the level, either entry level or part-time level or full-time level, so either of them you choose. But here it is a full-time, because it has been written a full-time, so there's no need to write secretary or whatever. So a full-time position. Okay, are you saying using my strong organization, office management and customer service skills? So under these skills you write all this: strong organization, office management and customer service skills. Okay, as a so this position title which you are applying for, you now write as a receptionist for an established financial planning firm. Okay, I told you about the field or industry which you are applying to. So now on the other hand, you can still, instead of writing these long stories, you can just write a position as a receptionist. Just simple. A position as a receptionist, a position as an administrative assistant. So it covers also these long stories. Okay, that's the second option you can use under your objective. Okay, then in terms of the summary, as you can see here, shows you certain things you need to just highlight in the bullet, or you can also write it in a few sentences. Okay, we've dealt with the objective here. We've talked about it, your career goals, uh, uh, which is important. Like we did here, we talked about a position as a receptionist. So you come here, you write a position as a position as an administrative assistant. Then when you come here, you just highlight the important things you need to highlight that summarizes what is in your resume. So with these things, your contact, your objective and the summary, uh, the prospective employer can just know what is contained in your resume, and then probably group you either at the no pile or the yes pile, which we've discussed before. Okay, so that is how to go about the objective and the summary. Okay, haven't explained how to go about your contact information and objective and the summary or professional profile. We want to look at employment history, how to go about employment history. We'll also show you the format you have to use in the building your own employment history. Okay, so I want you to understand that your employment history is the number one reason employers are looking at your resume. Okay, because they want to find out your skills and your experience, if it matches their needs. So you have to be very, very articulate and smart about your employment history. Okay, so let's look at this. This is the format of how to write your employment history, which you can name as experience. Okay, you can name it as experience. Okay, this is the format. You have the month, year, okay, in bracket, then to which other month and year. You indicate the company name and the city or street, something like that. Then you indicate your job title. You talk about the description of work accomplishment or duty with measure. Remember we said something about it in the previous video. You don't just end only on your responsibilities. You need to also indicate your accomplishments with measure. Okay, how productive you were in your current or your previous job. Okay, in your current or in your previous job duties, you have to indicate your accomplishment and to what extent were you able to carry out all those things. So this is the first one. If you have any other job experience, you indicate using this same format, and on and on and on. But I think it will be good they are in line with the position you are, you are you are looking for. So you I want you to make use of this format in building your resume. Okay, make use of this format, is very, very nice. And having discussed about employment history, let's look at education, your educational information, what to include or how to go about it. Okay, so your education section tells an employer if you meet the educational requirement for a particular position. So all your resumes should include an education section, regardless of the level of education you have achieved. Okay, you have to indicate it. I want to emphasize on education. After your career objective or summary or profile, you can now include your education information. Then you now include experience. But if you want to show more of your experience and skills, you can indicate your skill or experience, your job, your employment history. You can indicate your employment history immediately after your career objective or summary profile. So either of them, it is just a matter of emphasis which one you want them to take note of for and consider for your employment. Okay, so be mindful of that. So this is the format for education. This is the format for education. Okay, you have the month, you have the year, name of school or institution. So you indicate the degree, award or honor. Just replace it. If you are seeing this clearly from whatever device you are using, just pick your pen and insert the necessary qualifications and awards and institution, okay, with this format. So that is how you go about this educational information. Okay, so we want to look at the next one, which is additional. We want to look at now additional information and references. Additional information and references. Having supplied contact information, your employment history, your educational details, you can now add some other information and references. Okay, for example, you can indicate if you volunteered in an organization. You can indicate the language skills you have. Maybe you are fluent in English, you are fluent in German, you are fluent in Spanish, you are fluent in some of the local dialects. in the place where the job you are looking for is located. For instance, in Nigeria, if you are looking for a job in the northern part of the country, and you see it as an advantage, okay, you can include that you are fluent in Hausa language, okay, because that is the local language for communicating to the those in that area. Okay, you can also indicate some skills you have. Okay, so all these things are additional information. Even you can talk about your references. Okay, the references, your referees, and I would also like to show you certain things you need to avoid concerning references also. So we've talked about additional skills and information. Let's now look at let's now look at the references, how to go about the references. If an employer is considering to hire you, he must first look at the list of your references. Okay, and who is your reference? A reference is a person who, if asked, is willing to discuss your skills, abilities, job performance, and general character. Potential employers can contact these references and ask questions about your skills, duties, dependability, or productivity. You will not know, they will ask. Okay, so for you to improve your chances of getting a job, you have to make sure that your references are educated, well spoken, thoroughly familiar with your skills and abilities, and they have a mutually respectful relationship with you, and can also speak positively about your work performance or work ethics. Keep this in mind. Don't go and use your enemy as your referee or reference, or someone that doesn't know about you. I remain Daniel Obeyin. Subscribe on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.